Most people miss that. What if you actually started from the beginning, begin with the end in mind, and actually set things up to attract investors? It would make it much easier to attract customers. Simple, right? We're going to introduce you to that framework and that concept. We're going to introduce you to the 10 characteristics of high-achieving, high-performing founder CEOs from all over the world, including some billionaires you may know. Here's some things to consider. Have you noticed that there's a lot of craziness in the world right now? Have you noticed that, costs are going up on almost everything? Have you noticed that there's inflation? Inflation is at one of its highest points in recent history. In addition, there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of chaos here in the United States. We have the election and all these sorts of things. And these things are real. And if you're running a business right now, the fact is in many ways, a lot of the big, we'll call it the big corporate fat cats, have really set us up for failure, where you're not prepared to win. And so today is all about helping you win. We're going to introduce you to some of the key strategies. If you're a 6-figure business, you want to go to 7. If you're at a 7-figure business, you want to go to 8. If you're at an 8-figure business, these strategies have helped our clients grow by well over multiple billions of dollars. And we'll introduce you to some of those strategies today that you can walk out of here confident, certain, and clear about what to do today and what to do next. Now, my name is Dan Kuschell. I'm the founder of our company. And so whether you're a business owner in service, maybe an HVAC business like a lot of our clients, or maybe you're in medicine like some of our clients, or maybe you have a medical practice locally like some of our clients, or you're an expert, or your just whole focus is really to go out there and make a bigger impact. The bottom line, we're going to introduce you to the strategies that can work now from literally millions of data points that we've been able to gather working with our private clients over the last several years. Now, if you're here and you're committed to be able to go to that next level, could you do me a favor and just type in the chat window so I know we're connected here and you can hear me properly, and say next level or Shazam or champion or win or, upgrade, whatever that is for you, that is your theme for today that you want to get out of this. Type it in the chat window, please. Next level. Let's go. Yes. Let's go next level. Let's win. Yes, William. Bill, champion. Awesome. I love it. That's awesome. And here's what I want to introduce you to as well. And bear with me while I slide over to some slides that we're going to be introducing you to as well. You might be walking in, right? And you might, one of the things that we had is a list of all of you who attended. And the number one thing, bar none, of everything that was listed, the one strategy that was the predominant one most people want to get, it's a system to be able to do what? Get more new leads. Now, by the way, this is going to be very interactive in our process together. It's going to be immersion. So you're going to learn, and we're going to have you interact, and you're going to, think, and then ideally share. So what you put into this, you're going to get out of it. But our whole focus is to introduce you to a new way, a new system to get more new leads, appointments, and clients daily, to show you how to 2x to 12x your leads, 2 to 12x conversions, and 2 to 12x more value. Our training agenda is pretty deep. Right? We're going to introduce you what we believe is the future of marketing. We call it direct response branding. The 5 pillars of exponential business growth that if you put in place will bring you more immediate cash flow, long-term cash flow, more retention, and a whole lot more. We're going to introduce you to the 9 stages to be aware of in your client journey. Most people miss this. Most people miss that, what if you actually started from the beginning, begin with the end in mind, and actually set things up to attract investors? It would make it much easier to attract customers. Simple, right? We're going to introduce you to that framework and that concept. We're going to introduce you to the 10 characteristics of high-achieving, high-performing founder CEOs from all over the world, including some billionaires you may know. We're going to introduce you to the blankety-blank capabilities for marketing today that you need to have in place to make your marketing work. And if you're missing these, it's no wonder your results are suffering. Some of you had submitted, I don't understand why my ads aren't performing. I don't know why my marketing isn't getting me more new clients. That's normal, especially when we're meeting for the first time. That's about to change, right? You're going to be introduced to the 5 core models that we use to develop millions and millions and millions of leads all over the world in a variety of industries, 180 different industries. We're going to introduce you to 21 ways to easily create content, even if you're historically in writer's block or content stuck. if that makes sense. We're going to introduce you to 19 ways to be able to get more leads. We're going to also introduce you to a counterintuitive model that helps you get 300 to 900% more sales, right? While most people's lead magnets, their webinars, and their models are struggling to get traction. Can you relate to any of this, by the way? And by the way, if we share just that, would that be valuable for you today? If so, can you type yes? Or Shazam, or holy cow, yes. As importantly, this isn't about ideas. This is about implementation. And so you're going to walk out with your custom 30 to 90-day action plan. We call it an implementation blueprint. You're going to walk out with that. I'm going to introduce you to that tool in a second. I know our team, Phil, who's my right-hand person on the team. We've got about 40 team members. We got a couple with us today. Ken running the video set. We're going to introduce you to that tool. So as we get to the end, you're going to fill this out. So you know your today's steps, 7-day steps, 30-day steps, 90-day steps. How would that be, right? And all of that being said, it's all about showing you how to grow more predictably and simply. You'll walk out with greater confidence, clarity, control. How important is that? Control the controllables, clients, and unlock your true potential to be able to get to the next level. And we're showing you the things that we've been doing. You might be new to our world, right? We're going to show you what we're learning from our clients every day. Clients like the founder of ESPN, who's been a client, Dean Graziosi. Before he got big and famous, we were able to help him double and triple his business, right? Ultimately led to an introduction to Tony Robbins and now their business partners. Joe Polish, you may know these names, by the way, you may not, and no big deal either way. At the end of the day, it just means, we want to be able to make sure what we do works. You may have heard of EO, Entrepreneurs Organization, or YEO, Youth Entrepreneurs Organization, or Young Entrepreneurs Organization. It was founded by this guy, Vern Harnish. Well, him and his business partner, we've worked with in their business. He has many businesses, but one of them is called, I forget that, Growth Institute. Janet Atwood, she's a best-selling author, one of the most connected human beings in the world. So our portfolio clients over the years that we're introducing you to the strategies that'll work, we're cutting out the stuff that hasn't, has exceeded well over $1.2 billion and counting. Now, the tool that I mentioned, your implementation blueprint, Phil's probably going to drop it in the chat so you can download it, but don't sweat it if you can't access it right now. Maybe you can't go print it right now. You can just grab a pen, grab a piece of paper, jot down some notes, and be ready to roll. In addition, another tool we're going to introduce you to is our marketing blueprint, And we're going to walk through this step by step together because, again, this is for us about helping you get into action and take those next steps. So we're introducing you to the ultimate sales system to 2x to 12x your leads, appointments, and clients, even if you're not a big brand and even if you don't have big budgets. And I just want to share with you, what's one idea worth? What's one idea that's valuable worth to you? So Kevin Thompson, you may know who Kevin is. He's, just an amazing human being, runs a mastermind called Tribe for Leaders and some other things as well. And so Kevin, we sat down and we had a conversation, which is how most things start, don't they? Conversations or something like this that leads to a conversation. And so we sat down and had one conversation. We did call it a makeover, if you will, review of his business model. And we shared one idea for him to put in place. And in his words, not mine, in a text that he had sent me and us, that one idea led to an additional $648,000 profit. And it took him about 20 minutes to implement. Now, I can't promise you, here's the truth. I can't promise you that you're going to walk out with one idea that's worth that. But I bet dollars to donuts, you're going to walk out with, ideas that are useful. There's a big difference. Most ideas aren't worth a lot, right? But give us one elegant idea that can be worth a fortune. That's what today's all about. Now, you might be asking, well, hey, is there some hidden agenda here? So I want to share with that, get that elephant right out in the room right now. My unhidden intention that I'm going to call out is if you want to go faster, maybe like Kevin, maybe like several of our clients we've been talking about already, then I want to invite you to apply. Why? In our program, we work one-on-one with you as a personal advisor. We give you accountability. We give you a peer success team. We give you weekly sprints that matches out to quarterly and annual goals, daily support, execution, and an implementation team. We give you the proven roadmaps and tools. We give you exposure. We help you level up your mental game. We help you with the financial benchmarking so you're not hit with surprises of what's not working and why. Because we get there way before that. We give you access to our team of tech support. And if you'd like our help with helping you grow your business exponentially, to help you implement and execute the marketing for you, well, I invite you to go to this link. You can do this now before they get all booked up because we all have a certain amount we make available each week. you can go to breakthrough3x.com/apply. We'll walk through a specific custom plan for you. That's what it's about, just like we did for Kevin, just like we've done with every client that we've worked with. We had an initial one-to-one conversation. And I know that breaks a lot of rules. We're going to talk about some of that nonsense in a minute that you've been taught, that you've been misled to not work for you. We're going to have a one-to-one conversation. We're going to review your business. And then we're going to go, here's 3 to 5 key things that you could implement that are going to be needle movers. And if you'd like that, and you'd like to learn how we can help you that way, then go to breakthrough3x.com/apply. What is Breakthrough 3x? We're a fractional CMO marketing team that brings you the tools, the systems, the team to help you execute and implement. Our model is we feed you fish and we teach you to fish, which makes it unlike masterminds, coaching, unlike agencies. It's a hybrid, bringing the best of the best together, giving you access to our team of copywriters, graphic designers, traffic experts, SEO team, email marketing pros, and more. And if we have a fit, and only if we have a fit and there's a match, what ends up happening, what's included when we work together, you get up to 26 one-to-one sessions in a year. You get our bonus day that we do once a year. You get tech onboarding setup. We walk you through Breakthrough 3X University that's customized to you. I believe it was Walter a little bit earlier was sharing the one thing for him that's been most valuable is like the sales scripting that we're making available. Other people, it will be how to go and run certain ad campaigns to drive webinar attendees and a whole lot. We customize it to you because do you really need another course? Tell me, do you? You don't need another course. You don't need another idea. You need that stuff like you need a hole in your, you need useful, relevant things right now to do now and then what next? Would you agree? And if not, you could say that too. We're going to introduce you to the marketing and business KPIs based on thousands of clients we've worked with over years. You get access to our annual content calendar build out. We help you build out your content calendar so it's in one place for you and your team, whether it's all internal or whether it's fractional or anywhere in between. We also give you access to our growth planner, empathy map. Many of our clients have told us this one thing, we call it Beyond the Avatar process, that we do with research in advance for you, for your client, is worth the whole year working with us, just alone because they have much more clarity on their messaging. On top of that, we give you swipe files. Now, some of you have gotten our book and some of our resources, some of those things are in there. But again, we customize it. For example, here's an example of a swipe file. We built this for a client, but we have this internally. Plus, we have dozens and dozens and dozens of clients we built these for. Literally, how great would it be if you could run a webinar or a live cast or a challenge? They're all kind of the same thing. And you were able to generate 228 new clients in 17 days that produced over 350,000 in revenue. And that doesn't include the back end revenue. Would you like that blueprint? Like this is what you get with us, right? On top of that, we give you access to bonus trainings. Our experts on our team are some of the best in the world at finance, management, and hiring to help create systems for that with you. You get access as a fractional CMO and CEO. You get access to a project manager that helps drive your, if we're fit. You get our team of copywriters, tech, automations, SEO, content. You get our traffic team that can run traffic for you. Again, we customize it to you. So all that being said, even if you wanted to write a check this second, just based on what we just covered, you couldn't. We got to see if we're a good fit. We got to see if there's alignment. We see if our values, see if there's opportunity. Our highest value client has paid us over about $1 million. We've helped them grow by over 10 million. We expect if we work together, we're going to be free to you, just like we are with our other clients. So if you want to learn more about how to be able to, set this up for your business and have us do what we do best, which is help clients grow exponentially and implement it with our team of experts, then go to breakthrough3x.com/apply. That's breakthrough3x.com/apply. Now, with that being said, one of the first most important points in this journey, especially as you're looking at getting more new leads, more conversions, higher value clients, begin with the end in mind. So we're going to jump right into the 9 phases of the client journey. Oh, by the way, I want to apologize in advance. Phil, we really got to do this where we break it up over 2 or 3 days because I could already got to get this sense that this is going to be just fire hose. So understand that, and I apologize in advance for it's going to feel like a rush of things. It's going to probably be hard to keep up. There are going to be no replays available at this time. So do your best. And again, if you want to have a one-to-one conversation, we can do that. 9 phases. So if you think of the client journey, as much as a lot of experts try to paint you the picture, paint me the picture that the journey with a client is a straight line, it's not. It's all over the place. It kind of looks like, the biblical principles where, Moses wandered around for 40 years and, in like the size of, whatever, Iowa or whatever the case might be. So the 9 phases you need to be aware of. Have you ever heard this, by the way, which is a lie? Have you ever heard to get people to buy from you, they must what? Know you, like you, and trust you. Have you ever heard that? Okay, first of all, we're going to debunk that myth right now. Human behavior doesn't require people to like us first. And yet that's what most marketing experts teach you today and me. And I realized it was a lie long ago because, like, I don't know about you, but I bought many things that I don't know enough about the founders of those companies, the C-level people at those companies to like them or not. It's a lie. And a lot of people are trying to build businesses and marketing practices. Oh, I got to build likability. No, you don't. What do they need to do? They do need to know you, because write this down. If they don't know you, they ain't going to you. And if they ain't going to you, it's because they don't know you. So you got to get them to know you. That's phase 1. And many of you are missing that, because here's the deal. You go, my marketing, well, what kind of marketing are you doing? How many people did you get in front of? How many impressions? Have you ever heard that saying? You get one chance to make a first impression, and then you get a chance, ideally, if you make a good first impression, to ideally make a lasting one, right? Have you ever heard that? Well, how many impressions today, yesterday, this last week, so if your total number is like 12, your maximum number is 12. And you realize that it filters down, right? I know a lot of other experts won't tell you that. They'll make it sound like, oh, we're going to get you all 12. No, you won't. No, you won't. But it starts with that. They got to know you. Phase 1. Phase 2, respect you. They got to see you as someone who can solve their problem. And you might want to write that one down. You got to be able to solve problems and speak to the problems that you're solving for them. Otherwise, they won't work with you. Next, they've got to trust you, right? They got to believe that you've got their best interest at heart. Even if you do a lookup in a dictionary, and you can do this on your own, but if you go look in the dictionary, the word customer is very different than the word client. And I would encourage you to embrace the idea. I forget who I learned. It might've been Jay Abraham many years ago, decades ago. The difference between client and customer. A client is someone that you are a steward of and have shared mutual responsibility. See, if you started shifting instead of looking at people as transactional, which is part of the definition of a customer, versus you're a steward of, how would it shift the game for you? And would people likely have more trust with you? Now, if you do this right, these first 3 phases of know you, trust you, and respect you, you get more authority, you get likability. It's a direct byproduct of it, but you're not leading with that, trying to get people. And especially entrepreneurs, we've done surveys with thousands of entrepreneurs and found that many times some of the most successful entrepreneurs in the world are people pleasers. So if you teach people pleasers how to go lead with likability, it's no wonder so many people feel undervalued. They're selling stuff that's very low ticket, and they're even struggling to do that. It's not your fault if you've been there, by the way. So I would encourage you to shift the game to these first 3. Focus on the know you, respect you, trust you. And that's where marketing plays a significant role. And because of you sending us, 70% of you said, I want to know how to get more quality leads. I also want more conversions. We're going to put most of our focus in today's segments in those things. So I hope you're ready. Next, if you think of sales a little differently than probably a lot of people, the whole idea is to create a bridge. And I'm just going to erase this here for a second. So now we're going to create the bridge. So the marketing creates a bridge to the sales conversion process. And an easy way to think about it is, what is your marketing process doing to just get people to test you, to try you? It's like the old adage of a puppy dog effect. If they just tried what I can do for them, it'd be amazing. Have you probably said that? I know I said that in my early years. Golly, if they just knew who I was and they just would try what I have, I could help them so much more than XYZ. Have you said that? I don't know if you've said, but we hear that a lot. So the marketing should create a good bridge from the know you, respect you, trust you, to test it, try it. Then instead of selling, they buy it. That's a huge flip. If you look at Starbucks, is Starbucks a hard sell company for you and me? No, we buy it. Is Apple a sales org? Yes, they are. They sell stuff, but we buy it. Disney, we buy it. Nike, we buy it. Microsoft, we buy it. We have it. It's just kind of an automatic thing. What can you do to create more of a buyer's focus and buyer's culture? Well, it starts with the first step, which is get people to test it, try it, and bridge to the buy it. Now, again, if you have 12 people you talked to last month, like, it's going to filter down in these things. And then you might, if you only have one person, like if you could be the most amazing enrollment person in the world and sales conversion at over 50%, but half of one is still a half. Is it any wonder that if you're relying on word of mouth, if you're relying on referrals instead of building up a model that's scalable, that you might be missing some things? So, but then you might say, well, how do I do that properly? We're going to get into that. So first, let's go through the rest of these stages. So they test it, they buy it. Then the key is, I learned this from John Paul DeJoria, the famous guy in the hair business. You're not in the order business, you're in the reorder business, regardless of what you're offering. Think of how do we create reorders? It could be more purchases, it could be reordering the same thing over and over, but you're creating affinity so they buy more often and they buy repetitively. What would happen to your business if you did that, right? What if here's something that all of you can know right here, right now. Think of whatever your premium service or product or programs are. And then I'd encourage you to look at, okay, 3x the price. And as long as you can create a solution that solves a problem, you will have somewhere between 7 to 12% of those people that would buy the higher thing if you just made it available to them. So instead of running to the bottom, the race to the bottom of the world and the cheapest, most inexpensive, et cetera, because we get desperate, I encourage you to look at how can you go higher and work with higher quality clients. That one thing could make a huge difference if you apply it. So you're in the reorder business. So that's phase 6. Now we go to phase 7. They've used it. They're in the mind and mental state of, I like this company. Not only am I a fan, I want to be a super fan. And now they open the door of trust to introduce you to others, recommend it to others. We don't even like to use the word officially, refer. I encourage you to get that out of your language. Referral. We'll use it internally today, but I would encourage you to, if you ever talk to a client and ask them for a referral, the immediate psychology is they back out, they stop. And you wonder why you're not getting as many referrals as you like, because you keep asking, can you give me a referral? And the thing that it's almost like going, I want to introduce, it's almost like saying a word MLM or Amway or something like that. Refer, no. But if you just say, hey, is there anybody you could recommend? Is there anybody you could nominate? Is there anybody that you could introduce us to? That subtle shift in language can make all the difference to, instead of getting stonewalled with people introducing you, that they open the door, because it's just psychologically and behaviorally, it's people love to recommend stuff, but they don't like to refer things. It's again, another one of these misnomers. So anyway, I hope you're learning some stuff already. So recommend it. That's the 7th stage. 8th stage is what if you look at your client journey. Now, I don't know if you've ever sold a premium house, right? Or, even a house today. Let's say we got 2 houses. One house, I want to sell it and I'm ready to sell it. And I go out and I empty the house. I get it nice and clean. I do all the stuff and I empty it. There's nothing in it anymore because I, want to be move-in ready. That's one house. The other house, I do the same thing. I clean it all up, make it look amazing, but then I put staged furniture in the house, right? All things being equal, which one do you think is going to attract more buyers and investors in that property? The one that's staged. Are you staging your business? We find, like, when we get under the hood of almost 99% of our clients, they've never thought about it. Like, I actually like working with companies where we go to help them attract investor type people for their business as a place, almost like what Tesla does when they launch a product. They go, hey, we got this, I'm going to call it the, 500 or 300 Tesla. It's $100,000. And they start high and then they say you can, put a deposit down for $1,000. Do you remember when they launched that a decade ago or whatever the time frame was? Right? They started high, the premium, the investor type. And they got a groundswell of momentum. And then lots of people didn't end up purchasing a Tesla, right? But then they got the first wave of people at that level, and then they started offering their smaller versions, and now it's kind of become more mainstream and they offer all of it. Do you see how that could benefit you and your business? And then most people never think about, even if you never have a desire to build your business, and for some of you, it might be so far removed and away from what you think is reality, but I challenge you, write this down. What would it look like if I took 90 days off? Now, one side is going to be like, holy cow, that is going to freak me out and I'm going to go broke. And then the other side is like, what would have to happen for you to be able to take 90 days off and your business run without you? We're going to talk about some of that today. That's where this 8th stage kicks in of build it for the investor type, right? Which also sets up the stage. The 9th phase of this, which is the exit. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to sell, because you might love if you loved what you did in your business and it was bringing you cash flow and profitability, why would you want to sell it if that were the case, right? So this is about the exit mentality of exit the day-to-day, exit the things you don't like, exit the things where you get to spend your time doing what you love, like we're doing today, right? Together. I love doing this. This is one of the things that's, it charges me up, right? What are those things for you that charge you up? And what if you could delegate the rest? How great would that be? That's where the exit comes in. So like, what if you started designing it from that place from the beginning? Anyway, are y'all learning some good stuff so far? Yeah, I see. So if you're learning some good stuff, type yes in the chat. Type what's your one takeaway already as we're getting rolling. And then we're going to introduce you to the business roadmap. What's your one takeaway? So if they ain't coming the first time, they ain't coming the second time. That's good, Billy. Thank you. That's awesome. What else? What else is standing out for you? One takeaway so far. We talked about 9 phases of the client journey and a bunch of things related. Maybe I just can't see. Oh, there we go. Up to 12% would buy 3 times the price. Yes, Bill, that's great. Yes, the truth versus no trust like. Yes, absolutely. That's great. All right, so let's talk about some frameworks now. I'm going to go through these very quickly.